Mom's dream was to have a modern house, lots of light.
I love modern, but to me, modern is about building better. Wrong, wrong, wrong.
This house should have been finished for the hundreds of thousands that were put into it, and it's not.
Money spent in the wrong directions here.
I am in way over my head on this.
I'm going to make it the way she wanted it, only built better. Natalie.
Hi, Mike.
You must be Natalie, because I'm Mike. Nice to meet you. That is one solid door. That actually hurt my knuckles.
Yeah, it's legit.
It's legit, all right.
Welcome. It's one of the finished things in the house. Mom's dream was to have a modern house, lots of light. This house started as a small cottage. It was 600 square feet. She didn't knock the house down. She stayed true to the original footprint and decided to put another 600 square feet on the top. It was supposed to be functional and modern. This word modern is really interesting.
I see the design, nice design from the outside, kind of funky on the inside, which is pretty cool. No closets, sucks. Simple things in life, the white picket fence, that house that we want to be in forever. As a matter of fact, Ingrid lived in this house for years. And what you want? A change. She was getting older, it was time. Brings in a designer architect. Her whole idea was second floor additions. Let's do a beautiful modern style home. Round walls, almost 2 years later, not done. Still living in the house, by the way, which is not a good thing. Nice stove.
Nice stove.
Where's the cabinets?
1980s fridge,
Yeah.
Original sink.
Well, I sure hope that's temporary plumbing because I don't see a vent line behind the drain.
This house should have been finished for the hundreds of thousands that were put into it, and it's not. There's no kitchen, there's no bathroom, there's no flooring, nothing's finished in this house. So the money is gone, but the work isn't finished.
So no addition this way, second floor addition only?
Second floor addition only.
Okay, and within the 2 years, it was all a vision for your mom to live here for the rest of her life, I'm gonna assume. And then something happened.
My mom had an aneurysm followed by 2 strokes 3 months ago. That means she was in the hospital with a coma.
How long in the hospital?
3 months so far. She just woke up from a coma 8 weeks ago. At the same time, there is this unfinished house, this dream of hers that is kind of unlivable right now. And so I am in way over my head. The funds that they said would make it far enough didn't. And so you kind of stop building because all the money's gone, but the work's not done. She had a designer, she had plans, she had photos and ripped out pictures of what her vision was gonna be. It was all there for the realizing, and it just never came to fruition.
So how long was she living in it in this state before that?
A couple years. My mom lived in half of this house during the construction to keep the costs down, to watch her money. She lived in 300 square feet with a bunch of dogs, and the furnace blew in the middle of February in a cold snap. It was minus 20 outside. There was no roof on this house. She was that committed to doing whatever it took to take it across the finish line. So now we are on insurance, and that insurance is going to run out. And so I need to get this house finished before the money runs out so I can start to generate money to either keep my mom in quality healthcare and housing or hopefully bring her back here with some level of support and care that she needs.
There's a lot of surprises here. One of them is having to actually finish this house just to rent it out to make sure mom's okay for the future. Okay, what's up with the insulation there on the edges?
I have no idea.
Vapor barrier, no insulation, torn insulation. Okay, so bad sign.
Do you want to talk about the fireplace and the crack and how you can sear your hand on the fireplace? This crack in the wall, if we turn it on for a couple of hours, the wall gets too hot to touch.
Why is it cracked? That's a really good point. Where can you burn your hand?
On the wall.
On the wall. That's a bad sign.
It is searing hot.
All right, so we see the air return, right?
Inside a closet?
That's a no-no. You see that line? More than likely, it runs up the wall and feeds a forced air unit somewhere upstairs, and I can trace it down and take a look, but I'll tell you right now, it's undersized. I'm already a little nervous when I see a beautiful small house like this, that as soon as I see things, wrong, wrong, wrong. Okay, so we're calm right now, or I'm trying to be calm, because wrong, 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 wrong. I don't think Natalie knew what was gonna happen when she meets me. You know, Mike's coming in to finish the house so I can rent it out. She didn't know I was gonna immediately see things that are wrong. Oh, now it's not just about finishing, it's about now fixing it before I can finish it. I think it might have made her a little bit overwhelmed. Yeah, let's walk around for a second. God, I'm trying not to stress you. I don't want to scare anyone. I don't want to scare her. Here's the truth. There's bad news before there's good news. Things need to be fixed. There's issues. I noticed all your drywall's off the floor. Can you tell me why?
I understand that there are supposed to be modern channels. So there's supposed to be a baseboard, a gap, which is a pain to have to clean, and then the rest of the wall.
I would not have done that. Way too hard to paint, way too hard to keep clean. It's
Way
just
too hard to paint and
just
keep
not
clean.
sensible.
She had dogs. We have to clean that with a Q-tip.
Can we go upstairs?
Yes. Welcome to the Reno.
The Reno?
Well, the heavy lifting part.
So we'll call it the new.
The new part.
So 2 bedrooms upstairs, 1, 2, very small, quaint, and then that's supposed to be
A sink.
a custom sink?
Obviously.
Is that finished?
I understand that that's supposed to be the finished front, just like the doors, but there's no top.
I think I left my money here.
That's about all I can pay you for this reno is 75 cents. Good
Wow.
luck with that. Here's the budget.
At least it's a start. How are you gonna turn that handle?
Shouldn't they have lowered this so that you could open the window?
Yeah, does that tell you anything about contractors?
That's their job.
That they should know this, yes?
They should have.
That they built it too high against the hand crank. It's a mechanical window.
Yes.
You can't turn that.
No, that's why they snapped it off.
Bad sign, little things, bad sign. Money spent in the wrong directions here. There's not a doubt in my mind there wasn't someone that could actually sit Ingrid down and say, Ingrid, front door, $5,200 plus installation? Come on. Let's get a half-decent door that works. Let's put your money in making sure we insulate properly. Let's make sure we find the right contractors that give you the right advice and want to stay on top of this and help you do it right. That didn't happen.
How is it that someone that is a subject matter expert, like the contractor or the architect or the designer, didn't say, you can't do this, you can do this, you don't have enough money for this? That's their job, to help guide the homeowner through the construction to get to the finish line with a quality product. And it's like somebody phoned it in.
Natalie is now holding it all. She's the one that's come in now to gotta make sure her mom's okay. Mom's number one. The house is a problem. Talk about in over your head. Natalie's in over her head.
I want to see my mom recover. I want to see my mom come back to her house. I want to have my mom come to a house that kind of is finally everything she dreamed it would be. I want to take it across the finish line for her. I want her to not have to worry about renos anymore. I want her to have to not worry about money anymore. I want this to be done and healthy for her so that she can focus on her own recovery. Mom's dream was to have a modern house, and then it just never got finished. And then at Christmas on her birthday, she had the aneurysm.
Because Ingrid wants a modern home, I'm gonna make it really modern. I'm gonna make it the way she wanted it. I was just talking to a neighbor outside, and Ingrid lived in that little room for almost 2 years with 5 dogs.
You're kidding
I couldn't
me.
live in there by myself.
So here's what we have to face. We're here to actually finish it and turn it into a rental so they can actually pay some bills and get out of debt. And, you know, let's do what we do.
Absolutely.
But keep in mind, modern. Well, next steps are easy. I'm gonna have to move all the furniture out, which should have been done in the first place. Bring in an HVAC guys, problems. My electrician, test and troubleshoot my plumber, problems, and us. And we're gonna start taking some drywall down, unfortunately.
Oh, God, it's heavy. Carl! Carl!
Okay, I got it.
Thank you.
I got you some flowers.
I don't like flowers, dude.
Yeah, neither do I. Ow! I caught a wild animal.
I have to work with him every day.
Okay, Frank, you ready? Kitchen, right? Go for counter plugs. Is that it? No? Hold on.
That's it.
Back on right now.
That's it, baby. That's a double pull 15.
From what I've seen here so far, we have a few issues in the home. As for the electrical wiring,
Okay, go for what should be the dinette.
and the kitchen would never have passed. So what we're gonna do here is we're actually gonna replace this panel. Few little things. As you can see, somebody's dented in the side of this panel. We're assuming here, because we're so tight to the window, how are they gonna frame this window? So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go ahead and move this panel over. Drill a new entry hole from outside in, piece of pipe, that's done. Second thing, right now the panel's full. By code, we have to leave 2 spots left in the panel in case they need to finish the basement.
Yeah, that's good.
We'll put the 30 circuit in, brand new panel, and then the homeowner will have no issue in the future with adding any items here into the panel. Okay, so we've had the inspector come in. He's passed the work. There's a sticker saying that it's been on site. Just putting in this last screw and then turn on the power.
Okay, so dishwasher's gonna be right here, right?
Yep.
So you wanna do full height cabinets? Is that what I'm
Yes.
seeing? This virtual reality stuff. Really helps people. Love the colors too. I'm really into that. Are we going solid gloss, high gloss white? Even on the base?
Yeah.
How long? How long?
3 weeks.
3 weeks?
Work for you.
7 days?
7? You kidding me, kid?
3 weeks? Okay, well, 3 weeks.
Let's say 2 weeks and a half.
I'm fine.
Okay?
Under,
Okay,
under the B.
perfect.
Bingo.
Okay.
Okay, so I put pressure on Daniel. I said, how long? He says 3 weeks. Well, 3 weeks, that's too long. Right now, I need to fix the house, get it back together, get the cabinets in, get the trim up, paint it, because for every month this house is not done, that's another month of bills that they don't have.
What I really like is this stuff, right? They're using acoustical sealant around the plugs. They're using it at the bottom, and they've got nothing to attach to. So it looks like they did it after. You know, you usually do your vapor barrier before the tiles go in and everything, but everything looks like it was done after. And that's why they struggled with it, and that's why it's lifting. This is what Mike was talking about, buddy. This is actually for mice. You can tell, look at that. It's just being shredded by mice.
Yeah, I found a lot of droppings over by the plumbing wall there.
Did you? Yeah, they're rampant in here. This is lack of the exterior probably being closed in time, and they got a lot of mice. And actually, look at the basement. You think mice are getting in here? Look at the door. There's an inch gap at that door.
Yeah. Oh, there's a mouse. There you go. He just came out of the insulation. What is it? A mouse. Oh. Where is he? Look at him. Trap him. Trap him. Trap him. Yeah, we got a poor little bastard right there. Ah! Walk him over this way, Carl. He'll end up like this if he keeps it up. You can play on this one instead. He's been there for a while.
Hey. This is what I don't understand, spending this much money on the top of your house and not closing off the full envelope of your house. That allows weather to get in, rodents. It destroys your home. All right, there's another one here. Poor little thing. So I'm gonna have to call in pest control because we're finding dead mice everywhere, plus the ones they're finding live in the basement. Once we seal off the door and the windows downstairs, they're just gonna die all over this house. If there's anything we can do to get them out now, is the time.
Will they get the mice out alive?
Yes, they're very humane, okay? They catch them in this little basket filled with food and love, and they take them outside and let them go, I promise.
And then they play with each other and make friends.
First thing when we arrive on site is do an exterior inspection. See what's happening on the outside. Is there gaps? What's attracting that particular pest to this house? What we look for is vegetation especially. Is there a lot of vegetation? Is there a lot right next to the house? A lot of hiding places. What about cracks and crevices, holes? So checking the pipes, checking the windows, checking the brick. Is there any gaps that are inviting these things to come in? Here we have these old wooden frames. The window's old. There's lots of little chew marks in here. There's lots of torn up insulation. So obviously, whatever rodent has made its way in is probably coming through this window. But we know it's gonna be fixed, so for the time being, we're gonna put some traps down in here to catch whatever mice are running around. When we put all of these mechanical mouse traps, we want to avoid the use of poison. The big thing is that because there's pets, the homeowner has pets, we're not going to use any poison at all. It's all going to be mechanical means, peanut-free peanut butter or bait. Just in case there's children that come down here and need nut allergies, we need to be really cognizant of that as well. This is a very typical case where there's some big gaps underneath the doors. The mice have got in, they come established. With the renovation and in combination with what we're going to do, we'll have it fixed, no problem.
The style of the home, I use air quotes, is modern, which means I don't really know what modern means. The floor upstairs in the bathroom's heated.
Is it?
Does that make it moderner?
No, it just makes a warm floor.
I need this house to be done to secure my mom's future, to make sure that she gets everything that she needs. If one day that she can come home again, I need to be the kid that didn't let her down.
One of the main reasons I called you in here was the homeowner, beautiful 61-year-old lady. She's had a bit of problems, stroke, now in the hospital. But her whole idea was second floor addition, saved all her life. Let's do a beautiful, modern style home. A bit of a mess.
I see that.
Well, what didn't they do in the basement?
A lot of things, but the windows to begin with.
Are you kidding me? 1, 2, 3 windows down here in the back door and not replacing this, it's insane. The cool air drives low. Single pane glass, easy way to get in too, by the way.
No windows for sure.
Have you looked around upstairs?
I looked around upstairs. Safety issues number one that I don't like that caught my attention. On the first floor, the main windows that go to the ground should be safety tempered glass.
That's true.
And they're not. And you can tell they didn't even care how they installed them. They left the screws just hanging out, like just protruding out like that. I don't think they're so tight to the frame. I don't even think we have insulation behind these windows or shims. They just shoved them in to gain that extra inch.
Is that yours?
No, I just found it lying around. It's a Mickey Mouse hammer.
Well, I was just gonna... My God, that's probably what the contractor used and left it here.
Probably.
Seriously. You know what? You're probably...
I can't tell until we break it up.
You are probably right.
They're just shimmed so tight, so these windows are gonna warp and not work properly whatsoever.
Okay, that makes me really nervous.
See, they're bowing here a little bit. I see it. And this front door, it's a beautiful front door, and whoever installed it should never install doors again. Look at the play there.
I just saw that.
There's no contact whatsoever to the window stripping at the top. It defeats the purpose of having a door.
Oh, yeah. Electrical's a problem. HVAC's a problem. I can see we got a problem with insulation. I don't like the flooring. They didn't finish the bathroom. Dom comes in, we've got a smorgasbord of windows improperly installed like the front door. I'm getting not into finishing a home to rent it out so they can supplement the financial problems they're having right now. I've got to fix a ton of crap, as usual, that this just keeps happening that shouldn't happen in a neighborhood like this, and to a wonderful old lady like Ingrid. Here we go again.
Well, I got the drawings from Mike. I've been looking around. Nothing is exactly according to drawing. One of the biggest issues I have here right now is whoever did the gas work. It's going through the return. To me, that's a big problem. You know, you got copper line touching steel, so I got to address this right away. I got to get that gas line taken out of that return and rerouted. For 2 feet of duct, they could have moved this tight to the wall. Instead, they have it right by the back door. You open the back door, you come in, and you hit the ductwork. Like, it's ridiculous. They got no dampers in any of the heating runs. They got no dampers, so you can't balance this system off. So right now, you know, you're hot in certain rooms, cold in certain areas, and that's because they don't have the balance dampers in there. So Mike had one of the big concerns. It was the 4-inch runs on the other side of the house. I'm gonna have to end up changing these. There's just way too many 90s and stuff. You got like 6, 7 90s, and that's just in the basement before it goes all the way up 2 floors. And every time you add a 90, you add restriction to that heating run. So you start to lose air volume. We got to pull that off, upsize the pipe, try to put it in that we're eliminating all these 90s, try to make it a straighter run, and then that will force more air upstairs.
So, Gare, I know you want us to look at some stuff for you here. You need this wall open?
Yeah, we got the 4-inch heating run that's running up this wall that's going to the upstairs. We want to change it to a 5.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna need the wall opened up.
Okay, so just this, any other walls? I thought you said something about the bathroom wall.
Yeah, this one here and the bathroom wall and the ceiling in the bathroom. Same thing, another 4-inch run.
And that's going to the bathroom
That's
upstairs?
going to the bathroom upstairs.
The original pipe that was in here was this 4-inch, and it's pretty small for the area. And this is the new one. It's gonna basically double up the airflow that's going upstairs. Screw away.
I was so overwhelmed with the renovation on this house. I didn't know what to do. I can pick being at my mom's bedside. I can do that, and I can do it well. Or I can pick paint colors and finishes. I can't do both. I can't do both.
This is a general contractor's best day. When you can see how many trucks are here, it means production is happening. All these guys are in that tiny little house. I couldn't have it any other way. It's a good day.
So let's get ideas on this baseboard effect. What they wanted to do was create a reveal. I love the architecture, I love the design, but I gotta tell you, just to quickly put this back together again is the important part for me. Ingrid is in the hospital. Her daughter, Natalie, needs to rent the house out. I told Damon, jam the doors, put up casing. Don't worry about that reveal all the way around the trim. It's too much work and we don't have the time. We're gonna just make this nice and simple. We're gonna trim it. Let's do a square stock trim, not a colonial, because that's modern.
So here's the struggle with Mike and I. We work really, really well together, but sometimes our ideas are a little bit different. He wants to just get people in this house. That's the goal, is to get some tenants into this house. But I really want to try and keep it on her vision. Eventually, Ingrid is coming back home. She has to love this place when she comes in, otherwise we haven't done our job. Will I fight with Mike a little bit on the baseboard and little design aspects? Absolutely, because at the end of the day, if I can show him that I can do this in a reasonable amount of time and achieve what Ingrid is actually looking for, well, I'll be happy. So what I'm doing is just a test piece first. I want to see how deep I'm going to have to go on my back cuts, because you can't take a 3/8 piece of wood and bend it naturally without either wetting it or cutting the backs. So what I'm doing is I'm just gonna try and figure out my depths. That's about the depth of my cuts I'm gonna have to do. And that's the reveal right there. This is what Ingrid wants. That's what Ingrid's gonna get. Oh, Nikki, what do you got? This is your first piece of baseboard?
Yepers.
You're using your shims, your 1/2-inch shims, so we get the same reveal all the way?
Yep.
So do me a favor, if you wanna tack one in, move your shim along, because what's gonna happen is the tiles are doing this, so just make sure you move that along consistently as you nail it, so we keep that same reveal.
And pry it up if I have to.
Exactly, and I can hide every little gap at the bottom with a little piece of, square core round or shoe molding, okay?
Sounds good.
Good job, nice.
Ready? You're gonna have to...
Okay, we're carefully removing the existing window here. Main reason why we're removing this window's to the floor. Should be tempered safety glass, it's not. So it was a danger to begin with, so done. It was a useless window, it was just here to plug up the hole. Wood windows after a while rot, peel, and just absorb moisture. If you're doing the house, do it right now, because it'll be worse to do it later.
Welcome to the world of infrared. This is literally a computer that reads temperatures. Ingrid burnt her hand on the fireplace.
She did?
She did. So all I'm doing is, even though Paul was here to take a look at it and say, it's not a bad installation, We're getting a hell of a lot of heat on the outside of that.
And they used the improper compound, Mike, so that's why this all cracked, right? There's no Durabond on this. We couldn't have peeled that off if it was Durabond, right? So they used regular compound, it overheated and cracked.
So there's the pipe.
Wow.
Look how well I can see the metal in behind it.
Yeah.
So that spot right there.
Yeah.
So I'm going from about 28 degrees Celsius to about 32 degrees. That's not hot enough to burn you. This has been on for quite a long time.
It's been on almost all day.
I
think it's fine.
It's fine. We're still gonna pull it down because I wanna make sure everything has been checked and we're gonna change the inside guts.
Good. Have a good one.
Well, the plan for today is going to be simple. I have this original setup for the laundry that previous plumber created. All the water lines are loose, nothing is strapped. So I'm going to actually cut it all out and redo my packs along this side. I'm going to also cut the stack, redo the kitchen drain. Another thing I noticed is this is my frost-free hose bit, the key term frost-free. This thing should not freeze in the winter, right, technically. However, if it's not installed properly, this is what's gonna happen. This is the brand new device. The way it's installed at the moment is it's sloping into the house. So what's gonna happen is, once you turn the water off, the actual valve is on the inside, on the warm side. So this shaft will collect water. The water stops at this point, but because it's sloping into the house, I'm gonna have a residual sitting here. Now, this is open, the temperature drops below zero, this line will freeze. And this is the outcome. It will bubble, it will expand, and it will crack. Now, the homeowner may not see it at first, but the moment you open this in a spring, you'll release the water, and it's not gonna be a leak, it's gonna actually be a pretty good spray. Good idea to implement the right product, frost-free hose bibs, but the installation is faulty. It has to be sloped out.
All right, Darren, you've already started pulling some of the metal off here. Basically, like what you can already see, we've got really sloppy flashing work, like metal and, in terms of membrane. They've used a few different pieces of metal, a lot of exposed fasteners, and not really put together well. So it's sloppy and not completely to specifications by the manufacturer. So we're gonna pull, all of the perimeter flashing off, pull back this ice and water shield, and then we'll be replacing all that with, new membrane and new galvanized flashings.
I really do like the design of this house. The problem is it's missing one thing, just a little bit of common sense. With no storage anywhere, I've asked my son, MJ, I want you to create some closet space, make some cabinets anywhere you can find it, and try and keep with the theme that Ingrid first had, modern.
It is a pantry space, but we really don't know what she's gonna end up using it as. She's got lots of cabinet space, so she could end up using this as a closet, really. So we're kind of trying to just incorporate it to basically work for both. So if she wants to put her stuff in here, she can put her stuff in here. If she wants to put her spices in here, she can put her spices in here. So we're kind of making it the best of both worlds while keeping it unique and original. So in the end, I'm hoping the outcome will be worth it.
Real nice. The baseboard in the house is about a ½ inch thick. This stuff is 3/4. So right now, I'm just running it through the planer to make it the right thickness.
Poplar, right?
Yes.
Almost tastes like maple.
Yeah.
Mike and his team make this more than I could have hoped for, in the best way, under the worst circumstances.
Right now, I'm on my way to a nursery just to buy Ingrid some flowers. I think I'm gonna do quite a few roses because they like full sunlight, and Ingrid's front yard is already full of them, so I'm assuming she likes them. And they're a pretty color. Because all of the crew members can't really make it to the hospital to bring her flowers, she's not really well enough to entertain all of us right now. I like these ones. We're gonna plant the flowers, that way whenever she makes it home, she'll have something to enjoy and just kind of remember us all by.
So you went with a black slate?
Yeah, you know what? I really think it matches the house perfectly, to be honest.
Me too. I actually freaking love it.
It's really gonna tie everything else in.
I'd say. You just gave me a really good idea. Can I use that on my fireplace?
Absolutely.
That would be brilliant. You know what?
Yeah.
It's funny. We were tearing apart our fireplace, the existing one, and on the back wall, we noticed a little note that said, want to put slate out here, want to do a natural stone out here, and we'd like to do it on the fireplace too. Thanks for the idea, buddy. Natalie's here at 3. Let's get it done. Today, we tie up loose ends. I have Carlito finishing the tiles on the fireplace. I've got Joey running electrical everywhere. I got guys painting. I've got guys finishing cabinets. Everyone is everywhere, and I love it. So, Dami, you got a solution for me on this window?
I have a solution, Damon. Originally, look, you can't open the window. The handle hits the tile. Simple solution, just adding an extension. Either 2-inch or 4-inch. I think the 2-inch should work.
Now we're talking. Dom, I wanted to break up this tile. Like, this is a much better option. Buddy, brilliant. That's it. Like, who buries a crank in tile?
A butcher.
Oh, I love you. Thank you.
More than 2 feet here on the staircases, so we're installing the aluminum railings. Maintenance free, prevents the fall hazard, nobody can get injured. Handrail to go down, people in this house can be safe.
So the job today, we're gonna be using, instead of a traditional downpipe, we're gonna go with a galvanized chain as a method of drainage to get the water from this little lower roof down to this garden bed. Just doing a little bit of excavation here because we want that water not to just pool in this area, we want it to kind of drain out in the garden bed. So a little excavation, some landscape fabric, and some river rock, just to help disperse the water and not concentrate in that one spot. A traditional downpipe in this location would be rather unsightly, not really anywhere feasible to fasten it where it's not, awkward looking. So we're going with the chain just for aesthetic purposes. It's a small roof area, so we don't have to worry about huge volumes of water. We'll be able to control most of the water straight down the chain and slope it out into the garden bed. It's kind of an old school, antique method of water control, but for this situation, it's perfect.
This has got to be one of my favorite jobs of all time, and I'll tell you why. We've tried to get into the head of a homeowner who's not here. She's in the hospital. Ingrid is in the hospital. We're going by notes on the walls, designs that she's already started to do. So for me, trying to get into someone else's brain and figure out what they might have wanted has been a challenge, but it's been fun. Mr. MJ.
How goes it?
How do you like it, man?
I think it actually turned out pretty nice. Me and Tyler are just working on installing this lower part here, so it's kind of floating on those legs, but...
Can I be honest with you about something?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's freaking awesome. You did a fantastic job on this. I think Ingrid's taste is very much what you're doing here. Freaking excellent,
Thanks, man.
Nice job, buddy.
So you're doing something nice for Mom, are you?
Instead of buying her and sending her bouquets of flowers, it just die. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't really like it. We're all gonna plant flowers.
It's not like you have a green thumb.
I don't. I'd kill stuff.
Well, you can plant. I know you can plant. You just can't take care of them.
As long as someone else keeps them alive, they're good.
With Ingrid in the hospital and trying to finish the house for Natalie so she could rent it out, we're almost done, and let me tell you how much this is gonna cost. We worked on everything in this house, the bathrooms, the kitchen, the flooring, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and even the windows. The grand total for this job is $133,700.
Does that include me?
That includes, well, the flowers, but not the labor. Labor's extra. Did the reveals. You kept the reveals. What did I say? I said trim it, case it. He kind of ignored me, but at the same time, he's doing, in his mind, the right thing. And I like that he does that.
You like it, though?
It's way more work.
I know. Do you like it, though?
Yeah. I knew you would do that.
That's all I wanted to hear.
It looks good.
This house is hands down the biggest motivator for my mom's recovery right now. This is the end game for her, is coming home. That's the thing that gets her out of bed. You know, that's the thing that gets her eyes lit up when she's in the hospital room, is coming home to this house, and I want to do that for her. I am so nervous. I couldn't sleep last night. I can't imagine how great it's going to be. I'm very excited to see where this got to.
So now that you look at the front of the house, do you see anything different?
Yeah, the garden looks great.
It was my daughter who had a great idea, since we couldn't meet your mother and we all wanted to, but she wanted to fix up the garden. So she went out and she bought a bunch of flowers, and it's just to, you know, dress it up, give it a couple weeks. This is gonna grow very well.
There's been great progress. My mom has started to use a walker. She is really able with a wheelchair. She can push herself around the halls at the rehab center, which is amazing. There's a lovely little chain there.
What's the chain for?
I have no idea.
I'm gonna tell you. The whole idea was how we were gonna solve a couple of little issues. And what I wanted is, since it's a modern look, is let's put a chain as a downspout. When it actually rains, it runs down the chain, feeds into that little gravel pit, and comes out.
Smart.
Now wait to see it when it rains. It looks so slick. See the walkway?
Oh, the walkway! It's not just poured concrete.
It's not just poured concrete. Even though concrete's acceptable, let's dress it up. Let's make it look modern.
That looks amazing.
Isn't that a nice slate stone?
It looks finished.
Now, the dogs chewed that window, the side window, and the back window. So I brought Dominic in and we replaced all 3 windows.
Thank you.
They're brand new. He also made sure, because the windows are so close to the floor, that all of them are tempered. So very strong glass in the bottom. You want them tempered, because that way if a kid goes up and falls against it head first, they don't cut themselves, they can't break the glass. You can actually hit it with a hammer.
I don't think we would have even known to ask for that. I don't know that my mom would have even known to ask if it was tempered glass. That's a level of detail that she expects from a subject matter expert, right?
Makes sense to me.
To know that this team was here doing the work, and that they actually knew what they were doing, that they actually knew what they were talking about, that they were subject matter experts, makes me feel like she can have everything that she dreamed of without being disappointed that I could never deliver. Oh my God! There's an entrance. Looks amazing.
Well, there is, isn't there? Thinking of safety and thinking of your mom, hopefully one day she can come back here. We actually used the same granite stone in the front and created a coping cap along the top here to keep it watertight. You don't want the water actually going down that wall. It will freeze it and push it in. At the same time, if you look down here, we put in a new drain top because that was so old. We made sure the drain worked and put in a new top. Control that water, that raging rain coming in this way. That's why we have a storm door. That's why a new door was installed.
No more mice sneaking in the bottom of the house.
Oh, yes, we got boxes of mice. Boxes of them. Did you want to keep them as a pet?
Oh, stuff some.
You'll stuff some?
Yeah, put them up at the house.
You want to see inside?
I really do.
Okay, come on, after you.
Knowing that the house is finished and knowing that weight is kind of off of both of our shoulders is a huge relief, and we can go back to focusing on exclusively her healthcare and her recovery.
So, I mean, you can see we had to take down an awful lot of stuff, and that's just probably what the contractor should have done, because what do we want to make sure we do?
do it right.
Well, heat your house.
Yeah.
Not only did you have a gap on the door, you had wrong windows there, all the ductwork. We literally ripped it down and redid it. Within the furnace, we ran all new gas lines. You see all the yellow here, we have a yellow line here, we have 3 yellow lines there. You see all new plumbing from the kitchen all the way down. I got you a washer and dryer.
No laundry off-site, laundry on-site. It's amazing.
If you're gonna rent the house, it kind of works that you have a washer and dryer.
That's amazing. Thank you so much.
You're welcome so much.
This is the only way to secure Mom's future for her recovery, for where she's going to live and the type of care that she gets, and the physiotherapy or occupational therapy that's going to be funded by this house. Yeah, you did.
Now, this is the way the kitchen should look. And this is what should have been done to cover all that money that your mom spent.
This is sexy. This is really, really nice.
It is, isn't it?
It's gorgeous. I love these taps. These are great. The kind that you
You can have a water fight if you choose.
These are so great. These are so fantastic.
We had my son do something.
Your son?
Yes, actually.
Ah, it's a family activity. Storage, storage.
Could be pantry.
Yep.
And it could be just storage.
Shoes.
So if there's not enough cupboard space to use this as a pantry, or for you, your shoes.
Shoe collection.
Okay. That's kind of cool, isn't it?
It doesn't have a crack in it anymore.
No, it's very modern, isn't it?
It's, oh my, you guys killed it. It looks great. It looks great.
Here's what happens when you hire the right people.
Ah.
They do it right.
They do it right.
Why don't you walk around upstairs and go take a look?
Ah, the stairs are finished. I am so overwhelmed. I didn't think it could be that good and modern and livable. Oh, that's great. And the window's fixed. Amazing. Somebody can only use the word modern and clean lines, and when you look at their vision, they have no storage and fussy little details. You kind of nod and smile and, you know, you let your mom be like, sure, Mom, that's a good idea. And inside you're like, that's ridiculous. That's not livable, and yet it is. There's a floor and the purple paint that Mom picked. It's really nice that you kept that. She loved that paint color. I wasn't sure that you guys would keep it, and you did. That's really sweet. She was right, and I am the daughter who was not right. She knew what she was talking about, and all of her research paid off. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful house. It's actually a gorgeous home.
From Natalie just asking me to finish the house so she could rent it, to her walking in and seeing what her mom's dreams were, I think it was emotional for her. That's the part where we can all pat ourselves on the shoulder and said, we made it right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
I hug it out.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Give your mom a hug for me.
I will, for sure. Thanks so much to you and your team.
You're welcome.
To be able to focus on my mom's recovery and not worry about the house was such a relief. I am more grateful than I have words for. The crew killed it. They did great work. They did great work quickly. Massive thank yous.
Now, it's quite possible all that pressure and all that time was a contribution to what happened to Ingrid. Natalie loved it. And my hope is that Ingrid's gonna come back home. She's gonna be able to walk, talk, play, and enjoy that modern home that she first wanted.
Good job, Mom. She did a good job. The house is done. The reno's done. How much fire? So look at the downspout. And they kept your purple. Oh, wow. Yeah. That's great.
For more information about this show, please visit hgtv.ca.